He might down it in the water because it's freezing.
Hello and welcome to All About the Gers. It's myself, Ricki Neill, joined by Derek Ferguson, and as you know, I'm over in Australia now, so I'm staying with big Colin Patterson, so we've also got a guest, because we can't get Charlie out of his bed, Derek.
Unbelievable. By the way, I see Colin just going like his lovely pint of Guinness. Here's my cup of tea and a wee bit of shortbread. How the other half live, eh? And it's
Happy
somewhere
days.
out there, isn't it?
Yeah, no, not quite. It's still spring.
It's only 35 degrees a day.
Aye,
So.
well, it's the usual back in Scotland. It's damp, it's wet, cold, good arthritis weather. So it is. Great for the joints who are here. So, are you going to come back, Ricki?
I don't know. I don't know. Got a few jobs lined up.
You don't want him back. Keep him there, Colin.
Hey, that'll be right. Have you seen him eating and drinking?
Aye, I know. Oh, by the way, he's a soup drinker. Your kid's on, he can drink. Couple of days, then he blows up. It's like me.
Aye, that's about right.
So you're enjoying yourself. I see the gear you've got on. There's one of the, remember one of them, the old CR Smiths?
Oh,
aye.
Classic, yeah.
Aye, that is a classic. I got asked to sign it for somebody last night, and I actually tried it on, and it actually fitted me. So, but see, when I see strips like that, and it's strips that you have actually played in, kind of, you roll back the years, don't you? You start thinking of, not just about myself, you start thinking about other players and all that you played with, that you wore that strip with.
That's right, the teams that wore them, aye.
Aye, and Colin, everybody's got a favourite strip. I mean, I liked that
Absolutely.
one, but I've got a favourite one. It was the one with the wee tiny squares that was on it. I don't know if that makes sense.
Aye. That was actually my school strip, so it was. And then we get banned for the league.
Aye.
I'm just 50, but they ended up all the other schools complained about it because it had the Rangers crest on it. So, and they had the McCune's Lager that was on it. So they actually peeled all the McCune's Lager off it, but you can still see it.
Was that not the strip that Butch Wilkins wore when he signed for Rangers?
Oh, by the way, I probably was. And there was. You're right, Colin. Bang on the money. Him and Trevor Francis. And there's one of the best players that ever had the fortune to put our jersey. Ray Wilkins was not just an amazing player. I think, but you've heard guys speak about him. He was an amazing guy. I speak about him the same terms as David Cooper because he always had time for you. Always, and he was a class act in everything he done. But he loved getting in amongst us young Glasgow boys to see what we were up to. He was a great lad, Ray Wilkins.
Absolute gentleman.
Let's say a big thank you to all our sponsors, and then we can get into the football. So we've got the Loudon Tavern Ibrox, Plugged In Business Solutions, DB Dental Care, Avia Signs, and Mr. Singh's India Restaurant. We've actually got a wee competition with Mr. Singh where some listeners can win £50 voucher for a wee lunch voucher. So that'll be quite a good wee day for you. But since we've not been on, because I've been over in Australia, do you want to talk a wee bit about the Falkirk game? Because I tried to stay up. I had a few drinks that day and I tried to stay up. And the kickoff was here at 1 a.m. I lasted to 1:10 and then went to bed. But Colin watched the rest of it. So it was quite a shock when I woke up and it was 0-0, Derek.
It was dour. Rangers offered very little. And you think when you're at home, it wasn't a capacity crowd. I get that. But it was... I think it was a 50-odd thousand that have turned up on a Saturday and against Falkirk. And they just didn't show up. They didn't show an appetite for the game, an energy, creativity. It was non-existent. I think we carved open a couple of opportunities during that game. Clearly, it's no good enough at home. You're expecting against that. I mean, Falkirk have come up, obviously, for the Championship and done very well under John McGlynn, very well organised. But we're at home. You look at the so-called, now this is where we're going to talk about this probably, hopefully, about the calibre of player that we've got at our disposal. And if you look at the two squads, we should be running over the top with a Falkirk side at home with a crowd behind us. And it was actually Falkirk in the last 10 minutes of the game, even getting into time added on, that were trying to win the game. So that's no good enough for a player point of view. And also, I know he's just done the job. For 4 or 5 games now, Danny Rowe. We're looking better from him as well. So it was really disappointing. It was a nothing game. You done well to get to your bed, because if you'd have sat up watching it certainly would have put you to sleep. Wasn't it, Colin?
No,
I mean, you said you watched it.
Aye.
What's your take on it?
Well, I agree 100% with everything you just said, Derek. There was absolutely not one but a hunger on that park for anybody. And you'll know one games at Ibrox. Falkirk, by the way, don't take it away from Falkirk. Falkirk set their stall out absolutely brilliant. Falkirk played Rangers the way they should play them. But there's no hunger for any Rangers players. Nobody wanted to go on and win the game.
Aye. And that's
we
the
spoke
thing.
of,
So on you go, Ricki.
I know, sorry, Derek. I was up in Sydney the past 3 days. I was up seeing Big Gordon Cameron and Colin Batchelor, and we were actually talking about when the new manager came in. That game after he came in, we seen a totally different Rangers team. They were all digging and they were all getting right involved. But then after that, it's just went back to normal again. Do you know how can it be like that?
Ricki, that's par for course. That is what's happened when managers come in. You get a reaction for a very short period of time, and then they just go back to type. You know, they go into their comfort zone, where most of these guys are on very good contracts. They're earning very good money compared to a Falkirk side. So they look as if they're in a comfort zone. So this is where, when we sign players at Rangers Football Club, they just don't need to be, don't have to be a good football player. We've got to find the right characters, the guys. Maybe that comes down to having the right age as well, but the right characters that are going to go game after game and put a shift in and look to win games. It was just so frustrating. It was unbelievable. I've never saw. I've speaking to quite a number of Rangers fans. I mean, I'm saying the disappointment in them. They're just they're like kind of up in arms. They're going, why is this? You know, why is this constantly keep happening? So, and there's only one thing that needs to happen. There needs to be a turnover at that squad. That squad is clearly no good enough that's been assembled. And we can start looking back at Thelwell and Stewart as well. But my God, it's a hell of a situation we're in, to be honest with you.
Do you know the thing I can't grasp, Derek? The thing I can't get is they've got a young boy, that Lyle Cameron, who's hungry. They've got the young boy Curtis, who's just as hungry, who could do a job. Why is the manager continuing to play Asgard and Ant-Man?
Well,
I don't get that.
He's probably come in, he's had a look at them. You know, this is the thing that we're not privy to, Colin. You know, they might be showing up well in training. I don't know.
Well, you're right. You're right, 100% right.
So we don't, this is something that we as pundits, as fans, we're not privy to, so we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But at the end of the day, the proof is in the pudding. When you take to the park and you cross the white line on a Saturday or a Sunday or whatever it is, you know, that's when you produce the goods. But I totally get what you say, because these guys have already said that they're going through the motions. It's just they're in their comfort zone. You're talking about Finlay Curtis, hungry, wants to prove a point, wants to make a career, wants to be a Rangers player. Cameron, same boat. Young Barron, who's come in as well, has done pretty well. That's what we need. If these guys are only going to give us the appetite, the hunger, the will to win, bring in the younger guys, give them an opportunity.
Correct. Absolutely.
Well, Derek, see, when you think about it, Ant-Man's out for 8 weeks. De Giga and Diomande are going to be leaving soon for the African Cup as well. So that's going to give opportunities for these young guys. So they need to take it, don't they?
Aye, of course. But it's not that they need to take it. They need to be given a fair crack at the whip. I'm fed up seeing young boys get in for a game or two when somebody's injured or maybe somebody's picked up a suspension. The boys are running the team. They're at the club for a reason because they're good players. But I think what you speak about they two guys and what I see like the rest is they look the right type in terms of the character. They want to prove a point. They want to do well for Rangers. So we need those type. I tell you what, Ant-Man, when he came, that game against Poulsen, the one 3-0, it's probably only time Rangers. It was only time Rangers have probably played well this season. I thought we were onto a good thing, but he's just been a downhill spiral with him, isn't it?
Aye, definitely. Aye, 100%.
You look at Deja, whatever you call him, by the way. That's not a loss. He's struggling big time. I don't want to come on to podcast, Ricky, and just come out and just start slaughtering players. But by God, when you look at Fernandes and Deja the other night as well, you got to talk about. They're way off it. I think there's better players. I'm not kidding when I'm saying this. I think there's better players in our Scottish Championship, better centre backs. So it's actually quite frightening to watch these guys. So on your point, Ricky, if these young guys are in the background, they need to get the opportunity.
On you go.
Sorry, Ricky. I said to Ricky the other night, we were sitting having a beer for a wee change, and I said to him, how must guys like Fergie, wee Charlie Miller, Durante, McCoist, how must they be thinking or feeling watching that on the park? It must be destroying you guys.
Do you want to know what's hard? Is because we go to the club and people I see some pros, ex-pros now that have been in management and pundits that kind of try to disregard that. But what we felt is we grew up, and I'm telling grew up Rangers supporters, so it means something to us. And that's where it's hard for us because it just looks, for the outside looking in, the guys couldn't give a toss about Rangers. It doesn't matter. And that's where it's really hard for us. But another side of it as well, these guys that are brought in big money and that, I kind of get that they've got to do the best for themselves, their families, but that's the galling thing. That's the hard thing for us and the supporters who go home and away, abroad, spend money and a lot of money, in supporting this club. And what we're getting back in return is, it's zilch.
Dire.
It feels like that, so it does.
Aye. It's absolutely dire.
Aye, Derek, on our last podcast, obviously we broke the news that Thelwell and Stewart had been sacked. Since I've been here, I don't even know what day it is today, to be honest. Have you heard anything? Anybody coming on or anything? Has there been any rumours kicking about over there?
No, nothing. No, nothing at all. The owner was up at Tannadice the other night, so he was there. So there's obviously they're trying to get the wheels in motion to try and get people in the door. But I think it's important that when we get these people on board, that they're the right people, the right type. They've made a mistake. They've been honest with it in terms of the manager and Thelwell and Stewart. So you've got to kind of applaud them for that they're honest enough to show them the door, because they've had a look at them and thought, right, they're not good enough. They can't handle what Rangers is all about. So maybe I don't know. Maybe they're trying to get the types of, like said, Davy Weir. We know he's there in France at the moment. That is a sporting director or something. So, but something that there's always a deal to be done there. And we spoke about it before. I think Davy Weir would be absolutely perfect. Very clever guy. Done a fantastic job at Brighton, but most importantly, he knows your club inside out.
Correct. He's a Rangers man.
Aye. Well, Derek, the day I was talking to James Montgomery Monty, he stays over in where is it again?
Mount Eliza.
Mount Eliza, a nice big guy. He took us out for lunch today. He's part of the Melbourne Loyal City Rangers supporters. But I had actually said to him, I've got a funny feeling that Danny Rue is just a stand-in until Gerrard could come in April when his tax and all that's paid, because see, when you think about it, why would they pick a manager, after picking somebody like Russell Martin, why would they pick a manager that nobody's really heard of before? Do you know what I mean? So I think come April, they'll be like, hands up, we made another mistake, but we're getting Gerrard in. That's just, I don't know if it...
Ricki, I've went off the Gerrard one a wee bit, and the reason being, when I listen to Steven Gerrard talking about why he knocked the job back, he says it's not perfect, it's not a perfect time, it's not perfect at the minute. I mean, nothing's perfect, so when you get the opportunity to come back, we were getting a bit excited, and again, the reason we were getting excited because he'd done a decent job last time. Obviously, he won as a title, but the thing is, he knows exactly how the club is run, what the club is all about. But when he says it's not perfect, I don't know. Was it money? Was it because he's still waiting on a few bob come for Saudi? So it might have been that, but I'm a wee bit. This is where I become more a fan because I'm of the type that when you get offered the Rangers job, you shouldn't knock it back, No. And I know he's been in the job and he's done a decent job, so I'm not so sure. Maybe you're right. I don't know, but Danny Rule coming in, I think he's. I know what you're alluding to. Do you think he's a bit of a yes man? Do you think he's?
I think he's just somebody they had to get rid of Martin. And they just had to put somebody in because I think they say that if Gerrard came before April, then they'd have to pay 3.5 million in tax.
That's right, aye.
Something like that, But I just don't know why. Why take a chance on a manager that nobody's heard of? It's just very strange. I mean, to be fair to him, he's done a few things that I thought have been quite good. I mean, Charlie and you have been on the podcast for ages saying we need to play two up top, and at least he's trying things like that, But
the problem is we have to go. The problem we haven't got two up top.
Yeah, I know, but I think it will kind of all come out in January at the transfer window. See if he's allowed to buy people.
The thing that I found strange, Derek, was the fact that Danny Role all of a sudden left the discussions when Steven Gerrard came onto the scene for discussions at Ibrox. Danny Role was then put on the sideline. And then when Gerrard says the timing's not right, and I think Ricky's right, I think Ricky's got a valid point saying that it's probably because he's tax situation. But nevertheless, I find it strange that Danny Role was put in the back burner when Gerrard came up for talks, and then when Gerrard says the timing's not right, Danny Role's back in the picture. I find that strange.
Derek, talking to a few of the boys over in Australia as well. They're all saying the same that you've been saying as well for ages about getting more Scottish people in the team, and even obviously even in the kit room, everything, we're missing all that. But there's simply the Boheed says online, whatever happened to the maximum number of foreign players in a team, surely it's time for the club to self-impose a maximum foreign player restriction for the sake of finances in the Scottish game. That is actually a good idea, isn't it?
Aye, I just think we're too quick to dismiss the Scottish boys. We had an opportunity, and I know he's at the wrong age and getting into his 30s, but the Hearts captain, Shankland, I'm talking about. We've been talking about Shankland for the past 3 years. We could have got him for nothing. We dismissed him. The boy was playing at Dundee as well, playing alongside Cameron. His name's, I've lost his name at the minute. Obviously Hibs go and sign him. Guys like that, there is talent. There's a boy for me, boy Spencer. I don't know if you took note of him plays for Falkirk. Again, young, good Scottish. Aye, John Spencer, Rangers through and through. Wee Spencer's a terrific player, and so is his boy. Middle of the park, that takes play, a good age. Why do we not look at these guys? I just think we're quick to bypass the Scottish boys for whatever reason it is. I don't know if there's an arrogance thing in there, but what the Rangers boys, the Scottish boys bring, they bring that the hunger, the desire you're talking about. There's a bit of character, but they've also got good quality. Well, there you go. It's a big draw on the day, isn't there? Obviously the World Cup draw, so but not that bad. we've got some guys that are doing pretty well. They're in Italy as well. Do you know what I mean? That have done okay.
Aye.
So the Scottish talent is not to be sniffed at, and it kind of annoys me a wee bit. You look at the amount of Scottish boys that go down into this, the so-called the best league in the world, and their
Aye.
absolute standards. Then you look at right, John McGinn. He's obviously Aston Villa. He's been playing at his skin for years. He's the captain down there. You look at Christie at Bournemouth, an absolute standout. You just keep rhyming. You'll be able to rhyme them after me. These Scottish boys can play, but they need to be given the opportunity. And we have been guilty of that, not just in terms of the players, but throughout the staff, where the staff, the Scottish boys are absolute gold dust because we need them.
Aye.
The Jimmy Bell.
And they know the game. They know the Scottish game inside out.
Aye. Right, moving on to the Dundee United game. I was at my bed at 6 o'clock in the morning for a 6:45 a.m. kick-off. I don't know how the Australians do it, by the way. But
it's easy when you're a blue nose.
Aye. But the starting lineup was Butland, Tavernier, De Giga, Fernandez, McHoma, Raskin, Barron, Gassama, Danilo, Bajrami, and Miovski. See, out of that 11, there's a lot of players that on that 11 that shouldn't be anywhere near a Rangers team, Derek.
Aye, the back four. I think.
100%.
I'm going to talk. I'll go through the back four because, and it's hard to criticise him because you look at his stats. But Tav's passed his sell-by date. He's not been 100%. Good in the last 3 games. But I'm going to applaud him. So in one way, I'm having a go at him, but in another, I'm applauding him because he's prepared to turn out and put his body on the line, and he does it week in, week out. But we were expecting somebody to come in that position and improve it. So I know Sterling's back, so maybe Sterling will get the opportunity. But then you look at the two, Fernandez and Giga, they're just no up to it. They're just not good enough. It's as simple as that. Whether they're no suited to the Scottish game, but if you look at the two of them as a pairing, you look at the opening goal. Fernandez gets caught in the wide area. You're expecting at some point Giga to get across. You know, there is a point where you can't just keep your position centrally. You've got to get across, and when he does try to get across, it's too late. But continually, there's a mistake in them. And as a midfield player, if I know I've got that behind me, I'm up to high door. I'm always kind of wary, you know. So it doesn't give you confidence. Magoma was a terrific goal. It was a brilliant goal. But again, he's finding his feet. He's only a young boy, and he hopefully will defensively. But if you look at that back four, they're going to leak goals. And that's why, Ricky, when you always ask a score prediction, very rarely do you get from me or Charlie as we're going to win 2-0, we're going to win 3-0. It's always, we might win 2-1, we might win 3-2. We're going to lose goals.
Aye,
absolutely. Definitely. And Butland's been decent. Butland's been good this season, but that four in front of him are clearly no up to it.
Liability.
No, we are.
The two central defenders. Sorry, Derek. The two central defenders are as slow as a week in the jail, man. There's no pace to them. There's not getting any pace.
It's not even that. It's the decision making as well.
Hesitations. Aye.
Everything. You know, so about them. So they don't fill you with confidence. And you think about Cornelius and Suter, who are out at the moment. You know, the quicker they're fit and back in, the better. But they're no up to scratch yet too. So I don't see guys like that. They've not got a future at the club. Magoma as well will be getting back. Obviously, he's obviously on loan. But we're poor at the back, and that's where you need to be solid and have that foundation that gives the confidence for the boys further forward. But they're a bit of a bomb scare, I'm afraid.
I noticed Sterling was back in the bench on Sunday as well,
which is good. But listen, don't pin all our hopes on him, because if you look at the history, he tends to pick up injuries. He's clearly a very good player. We can see that, and unfairly on him, you know, he's played out of position numerous times. But I think that right back berth would suit him down to a T. Listen, Tav's been there a long time. His stats are unbelievable, but he's getting on, isn't he? So we need to replace him.
Aye.
You know, so hopefully Sterling will be able to do that.
Tav's tending to get the ball away a lot more now than ever he did.
Aye,
you know, he's trying to play wee passes inside and loosen the ball, and that was never him 3-4 years ago, you know what I mean?
Aye. And it just seems to me it looks as if he himself is getting frustrated with, not just with some of the players on about him. I think he's getting a wee bit frustrated with himself as well. But that happens when your legs tend to go a wee bit. So, aye.
It's good to see. We've got another stat man in the show, which is good. Simply the Boyhead says Rangers had 32 goal chances against Dundee United, 8 on goal, 2 goals, and 20 ballooned to Rose Ed or miles over the post. Real strikers needed, and it just doesn't seem to be happening for him. He's not the same player he was at Aberdeen, or is it just he's not getting the same service, Derek, or what?
There's a bit of everything in there. To be fair, in the Dundee United game, he was dropping into the midfield quite a lot. Where I was thinking to myself, I'm looking at the midfielders, I'm like, you need to be chasing him, get him up top. So when you start to do that, there's one thing, he's getting starved ammunition. We don't get enough crosses in or make enough chances for him. We're build-ups, it's slow, it's methodical. And I think at Aberdeen it was a wee bit more, at times they went a wee bit longer, they were a wee bit more direct, and it suited them a bit better. But in saying that, you know, I'm still disappointed with Miovski. When he came, I thought, there's a guy that will definitely get his goal, sometimes out of nothing. But I think he's really struggled. And again, he could be one of a number of players that, you know, when you look at him, you think, playing with other clubs, he's a good player. Why does he struggle at Rangers? It's just everything that goes with the expectation. But I'm disappointed in Miovski, to be honest with you, Ricky.
Do you know, Colin, we were watching the game the other day, Colin was actually praising Bajrami as well, and Scott in Berlin says Bajrami is turning out to be a decent player now. Now he's playing his natural position, Colin.
Exactly, 100%. Bajrami never got a game for a few weeks there, simply because the manager didn't fancy him, I don't think. But I don't think you can afford to leave that boy out of the team now. I think he must play because he's a playmaker and he can pass the ball. And the other thing I was going to say is that Miovski, in my opinion, doesn't get enough body feet. Miovski likes the body feet so that he can turn people. He's not getting that. He's getting high balls all the time.
Or even the wee balls, Colin, you know, balls that are like, if he's on the defender's shoulder and it shows wee passes down the side, Miovski liked him at Aberdeen. Aye, and he got the 100%. So whether we've got an Asgard in there who's not producing the ammunition for him in that regard. So you've got to look at all these components in the game. So you look at why is he not scoring, and it could be because we've not got enough flair in that position. And you're right, Bajrami. He showed a good attitude coming in, a good appetite. Excuse me, and he is a good player. He's got decent quality in the last third. He's got a wee bit of bottle about him because that penalty kick, you know, last seconds, it was a fantastic penalty. So he got a wee bit about him.
And he doesn't mind taking players on and hitting the ball past them and taking, you know, going for it. He doesn't mind doing that. That's part of his game.
I kind of agree with We Are the People just said online, play Bajrami, Curtis and Cameron. I'd be happy with that. So anyway, right, let's move on to Sunday's game, Derek. In fact, Derek, I don't know if I told you the story. I think I did. So I was walking down the Yarra River with Carrie, and the next minute, this guy starts shouting, and he's kind of making a mad noise, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" And he was trying to get my attention. It turns out him and his wife watch a podcast. So he stayed in Australia for 45 years. So we're running a couple of pints for him. So we shouted
and I hope
to
you
David.
bought him. I hope you bought him a couple of pints.
They wouldn't let me.
Thank you for watching the podcast.
Every time I went to buy them a drink, they wouldn't let me. His wife was ordering for the phone.
I don't believe that.
No, so I did.
Carrie didn't have her purse, Derek.
But you know, but Ricky, that's lovely, isn't it? When the guys obviously they notice you know, and they want to kind of spend a wee bit of time and a wee chat with you, and it's good that you take the time out because I know you're on a break and you're doing work as well out there. but always try and find time for the punters or the supporters. I think that's really important.
I know.
I agree with you.
We've had a great time because I was hosting the Scottish Network, Scottish Business Network of Australia. That was an awards night on Monday night. And do you remember Mary Kiani? Do you remember the song TTF?
No,
Give me real love. You know, it's a classic. You'll need to Google it after this. TTF, Real Love. So she was actually there as well. But they're an amazing charity. They've actually given money to a wee Australian boy to come over to the UK and develop football.
Aye.
And all that is
There's a business out here, Derek, and it promotes youth football, youth soccer. And the guy that owns it is a guy called George Campbell, who used to play with Aberdeen. And he's got a great setup for the boys. So every year he takes a squad of some like 18 boys out of the UK, and they play Aberdeen, they play Rangers, they play Man City, and we help to send a couple of their players there, raising some funds for the boys, because it's a lot of money and their parents couldn't afford it, you know.
So it's a great charity, but they're also trying to raise money for the Commonwealth Games are meant to be in Australia next year, but they basically moved to Glasgow. So the wheelchair basketball team, they're going over to Scotland next year from Australia. So we're trying to raise some money for them as well, so they can actually see a bit of Scotland and experience a fish
That's
supper and
magic.
that.
No, that's brilliant.
Anyway, but
that's magic.
Football,
everybody you're talking about there that's involved in all that and helping people out, because it's all about having an experience, isn't it? Going to a different country, travelling with your teammates, travelling with your pals, and it's memories for a lifetime. So it's not just about the football; it's about everything that goes. It's about it, the socialising and everything, and the memories. And it's magic. That brilliant.
It's an experience you'll never forget. But I'm sorry to hog the limelight, but the wheelchair basketball boys, they've been training for this Commonwealth Games for 3 years now.
Yeah.
And they applied for grants to the government here in Australia, and the government said, no, we can't give you grants because the Commonwealth Games aren't here now. They're in Glasgow. So they had to self-fund it. And I thought to myself, what is that all about? So that's why the Scottish Network in Australia, I'm the treasurer and my wife's the chairperson. That's why we're putting our heads together and trying to raise money for these boys.
So you can check it.
Well done.
You can check out the website, all the listeners, if you want to donate. It's just the Scottish Business Network of Australia. So if you Google that, you'll find the website link. But yeah, again, Derek, the guy actually said to me, I noticed you with the size of your head.
I know. Ricki, you brought that on yourself, because you kept saying, I can't get a hat to fit my head. Innit? You actually says I need to send away, is it to Holland or something, to get a hat to fit my old napper. So you brought that on yourself.
I keep telling him, Derek. I keep telling him he's got a rare head for us.
Full of knowledge.
No, that's what I'm going to say. Big heat, nothing in it. Big empty space.
I keep telling him he's got a rare head for a sniper.
In fact, when me and Derek were in Seville, I didn't take a hat with me. And we went down the beach one day, and he kept on saying to me, "You need to get a hat." So we went down to one of you guys selling hats down the front. I must have tried on about 30 hats, didn't I? And
unbelievable.
The wee guy couldn't believe he couldn't sell me a hat. You know, but aye. Anyway, who we go on Sunday? Kilmarnock. Right, we'll just
Saturday night, Ricki, it's Saturday night. Might be Sunday for you, I don't know, but it's Saturday night.
It's Sunday morning, 7 o'clock Australia time. So, because I keep on getting abused for getting the wrong info. So give me a break. I'm in Australia. Right, we'll do a wee score prediction first, then, if it works. Right, score prediction, Derek.
Score predictions brought to you by Avia Signs.
Against a Kilmarnock side.
Sorry, I pressed the wee button. You can go now.
Aye, right. Technology, magic. No, we're going up against a Kelly side that will have they'll be buoyed and a wee bit more confident now with that point to go to Tynecastle, which was a really good point for them. They're on their own patch, and as we know, it's an AstroTurf. It's not the greatest AstroTurf, but they're used to it because they train on it quite a lot. Our boys are not going to enjoy that. And again, this is where when you're selecting a team to go to Rugby Park, to play in that surface, 8 o'clock Saturday night is going to be Baltic, probably miserable. It's about the attitude, right? It's about the attitude and the character. So Danny Rowell's got to pick the right team in that respect. So are we going to concede? I don't think we're good enough. We already spoke about it. I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet. I think we could be looking at a 2 each or something. I'm not confident we're going to win. There you go. I'm just need to be honest and upfront with you guys. So I would be looking at a 2 each. I would take a 2 each or a 1 each, honestly.
Well, I was going to say 1 each. You just stole my thunder there. I don't think there'll be a lot of goals in it, to be honest with you. For the simple reason is Rangers haven't got a goal scorer. Do you know what I mean?
No. Well, I'm going to go 0-0 just to be totally depressing.
So you're 0-0, I'm 1 each, and you're 2 each.
Aye.
I'm going for a Desmond. Desmond 2-2.
Right, Derek, while we were in Melbourne City today and we met up with James Montgomery Monty, he's been here for 14 years and he's part of the Melbourne City Loyal. So I actually done a wee interview with him, so I'll say goodbye to you and I'll pass it on to the wee video. All right, but you're more than welcome to stay on and watch it. All right?
Derek, take care, mate.
Before I go, make sure you fill your glasses. I see it's empty already, so get another pint.
I'm just going for one right now. Listen,
Brilliant.
You keep working hard on that knee, mate. All right?
Oh, always. I love that. Once I'm back in the gym, I'm a happy bunny. Once I love all that. So
no shortcuts.
Right, I'll see you soon. All right, but here comes James Montgomery.
All the best.
I'm Monty from the Melbourne City Loyal. Been in Australia.
Is it playing?
I'm Monty from the Melbourne City Loyal. Been in Australia 14 years. Part of the Rangers community out here for all that time, including Melbourne Glasgow Rangers Loyal and the Melbourne City Loyal I'm part of today. To be honest, mate, I think it's a short-term solution. I was pretty excited when he came in, get a couple of wins under the belt, but still think we should have enough in the tank to beat the Falkirks and Dundee Uniteds of the world. The fact that we've really struggled, I think some of his substitutions and team selections are a bit questionable. At the end of the day, we're all the same opinion. We just want them to win regardless of how they're set up, and when they don't do that, it makes it tough. I think it's harder this season as well because I think there's an opportunity there to, even now, there's still an opportunity to make things happen, and I think the league's still there for the taking. Again, going back to some of the team selections, I was pretty excited about young Cameron. I like Barron when they come in, they bring a lot of energy. I think the Scottish boys in general know what it takes, and I think you get that 10 or 20% extra out of them. I would much rather develop these guys over a year or two than put up with some of the signings that we've done the last 13 years, if you like. All these foreigners, I think we should look closer to home. Any of the most successful teams we've had at Rangers, and as much as it grinds me to say it, even when you look across the city, most of the successful teams that they've had, they've always had a backbone of Scots. And I think Rangers should always have that. It's a hard one to narrow down. There's been a lot. I was fortunate enough. I grew up during the 9-0 period, so I never missed many during that travel in the Gers Loyal up and down the length and breadth of the country in Europe. Some notable ones: winning the league at Parkhead, Leeds United at Ibrox, Parma, Aberdeen Gascoigne game. I could go on and on. That also had some smaller ones. Glenn Skivington's testimonial down in Barrow and Furness. The amount of fun and good times I've had over the years, just the absolute best. Paul Gascoigne used to have the hair to represent Gaza, now it's just to hide the greys. So yeah, Gaza for me, Laudrup, close. Laudrup, Gascoigne, they're all there or thereabouts. McCoy's. So many over the years, Cooper. I think, unfortunately for us, and world economics and football economics at the moment, if we were ever blessed to have a Gascoigne or a Laudrup, I think it would be a lot shorter lived than it was back in the day. I think we missed a trick with Igamani. I watch him week in, week out now for Leo. I think he could have been that player for us for another year or two. Again, we live with the hope. We always like to think that perhaps one day one of these players will come along, and better still, on the doorstep, a young Scottish talent, a young Glaswegian talent. Who's to say they won't?
Your boy,
My eldest boy's 19 and spends his life still watching YouTube clips, and he looks at me with rage. He's like, Dad, how lucky were you? And unfortunately, at that time, we thought it was going to last forever. I remember 8 in a row and thinking, nobody's ever going to catch us. This is going to be the days. How excited were we all at the transfer windows, looking at the latest crop of players coming through, England, Italy, Germany, and thinking we could have a pick of them all. Unfortunately, the days are gone for the foreseeable future. Listen, for any of the Melbourne clubs and for any of the Australian clubs for that matter, all of them are pretty well represented in social media. You'll see them in Facebook, most of them have got Instagram pages. If you reach out, there's always somebody that knows, and all of them, in my experience, have been super welcoming. Always good to get a taste of home, be amongst yourself, and burdening the grief of following Rangers at the other side of the world in these early kick-off times. I would like to give a shout out to the Gers suit of Loyal. One of my best lifetime mates, spent all my days travelling up and down, out with family. The football's the only thing I miss of it back home. Maybe munchie boxes and a curry as well, but no, just shout out to all my mates back in the Rangers fraternity. I've been fortunate to get back home a couple of times in the last year and catch up with a lot of them, but yeah, that's it from me. It's a wrap.
okay, so that was a great wee interview, wasn't it? That was a good interview today and a good lunch we had today. So thanks again for that. Thanks again for watching. We'll be back on again on Monday, I think. It all goes to be if we can get the technical side it working again. But thanks again for watching, and thanks for all our sponsors: the Loudon Tavern at Ibrox, Plugged In Business Solutions, DB Dental Care, Mr. Sings India, and Avia Signs. Make sure you click and subscribe and the notification button so you don't miss any of the podcasts. Take care.